Yo, Manchester United have just beaten Newcastle United by 3 goals to 2 at Old Trafford, and in this video I'm going to be discussing Erik ten Hag's tactical setup for this game, the recent performances of Sofyan Amrabat and Newcastle's poor form away from home this season. If it's your first time clicking on one of my videos, I'm not another Mark Goldbridge or Rory Jennings wannabe. I love football. I especially love discussing the structures or tactical elements that underpin certain performances. I can't stand shallow analysis or creating content for content's sake. I won't be ranking footballers from different eras or assigning arbitrary numbers to players based on how I think they performed. You know, Garnacho had some nice runs today, but he did give away the ball a few times, although he did get the pre-assist, so I'll give him a 7. What the fuck is that? If that sort of content is for you, this video is not. Okay, let's discuss the actual football. There was a lot of talk before this game about how Manchester United would set up without Rasmus Højlund, and it was actually quite intriguing how Erik ten Hag decided to approach this game. United were a 4-4-2 out of possession, with Bruno Fernandes and Scott McTominay playing as the two up top. This did become a 4-1-4-1 at times, with McTominay dropping deeper and Fernandes occupying the centre forward position. This especially happened as Newcastle progressed the ball up the pitch. However, when United recovered the ball, McTominay used that running power that we know he has to get back up into the centre forward position, and Fernandes dropped into midfield to get on the ball. Newcastle did play through the man-to-man press of United too easily at times, but for the first time in a while, I thought there was something in that Manchester United performance. If they had everyone fit, which I appreciate they haven't had for a long time, we might be able to see a little bit more of what Ten Hag's vision for this team actually is. There was a lot of talk on Sunday about Casemiro not getting out quickly enough and playing Kai Havertz onside for Leandro Trossard's goal. But Kieran Trippier was added tonight for Kobbie Mainoo's goal. It's shocking defending from a player that's had his fair share of defensive errors this season, I think it's fair to say. It was a great finish by Kobbie Mainoo, who seemed to be helped by the fact that he thought he was offside. We know he's composed, but he didn't even look bothered as he stroked the ball past Dubravka. A superb flick by Fernandes to set up the goal if he meant it, which given the mood he was in tonight, he probably did. Newcastle should have had a penalty on the 35th minute when Sofyan Amrabat caught Anthony Gordon in the box, but is anyone really surprised given some of the officiating that we've seen this season? I'm not even going to bother discussing that any further. Newcastle did equalise just after half time. Amrabat sliced his clearance. Diallo was caught ball watching as Jacob Murphy picked out one of the players of the season, Anthony Gordon, in the middle to fire home and equalise for the Magpies. I don't think Newcastle have won a single game away at any of the top 10 Premier League sides this season, and they showed why tonight. They seem to be becoming far too reliant on the St James's Park crowd to fuel their high intensity performances. They weren't at it tonight at all, despite creating quite a few chances, which this injury stricken Manchester United team are always going to give you. I thought Alexander Isak in particular did not look himself. Perhaps he's still recovering from that illness, and they looked so hesitant at the back all evening. I thought Amad Diallo's goal perfectly summed up their defensive effort tonight. He had been unmarked for a few half chances at the back post before eventually scoring a spectacular goal from the same position, unmarked again, which he smashed past a cluster of Newcastle players. Superb goal. I thought there was two standout players on the pitch tonight, Sofyan Amrabat and Bruno Fernandes. I wanted to read you something that I said about Amrabat in one of my earlier videos this season. He didn't just have a good World Cup, he was a brilliant player for Fiorentina. He's not just great at putting out fires in midfield, but he's very good technically, and everything that Fiorentina did well went through him. He was their version of Rodri. He hasn't hit the ground running, but he's been brought on for a reason. Give him time in a settled side and back him. Now, I'm not saying that I've been vindicated, but it does highlight how great of a player that I think he is, and I did try to dispel that myth that he only had a good World Cup, which is complete nonsense. Was he perfect tonight? No. Will he be at Manchester United next season? Probably not, but it's still worth highlighting how well he played tonight, considering the lack of game time that he's had recently. In the same video which I offered this take on Sofyan Amrabat, I also asked what Bruno Fernandes might be able to achieve if he was playing in a team like Manchester City or Arsenal. He ran the show tonight, and I think he's world class. He might not be a world class leader, he might not have a world class attitude at times, but in terms of ability, he gets into any team in the world. Every team in the world finds a place for a player like him. Anyway, that's all from me. Those are my initial thoughts on the game. I didn't have time to discuss Howland's goal, a really important goal for him, or the brilliant late strike from Lewis Hall, as I do like to keep these videos relatively short. But please feel free to let me know your thoughts on the game, and especially what you agree or disagree with what I've said in this video. Please do give the video a like if you like this sort of content, and if you do, then please consider subscribing to be notified about future videos. Thank you so much for watching.